And ta-da! Here I am again, guys. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's live lesson. I always do when I get to see you guys and hang out with you just a little bit in person and see your faces and hear your voices. I sure do miss doing that every day. But I did want to go back over and review a little bit about the book, Each Kindness, that we talked about by Jacqueline Woodson, who is the same author that we studied last week from The Other Side. This book is very different than what we read last week with The Other Side. Okay, so if you've not listened to this book, I did record our lesson live yesterday, so it should be very simple for you to just go back through the post area and click on that recorded lesson, and it should take you directly to where I'm reading the book and everything. So it's a beautifully written book, and it has a lesson in it that is very easy to detect just by reading it. I was reading through some of your comments in the chat box this afternoon, and you too were like, oh my goodness, I can't even believe something like this would happen. But things like this happen all the time. And the lesson then, again, is something we need to take away from this book and apply to our own lives, and especially these day and times where kindness needs to be happening everywhere. It's an important thing. So I did feel that this book was a good one to share with you for many different reasons. So jumping into our lesson about each kindness and how we take this text and then write a literary essay based on this text. The first thing I wanted to point out, and I laid out the chart a little bit different this week, so you can see, I started off with the thesis. And y'all, when I decided to write this thesis for this particular text, I did try on different ones for size, if you will. I did try on the character, okay? So Chloe in this instance. I did try on Chloe learned, okay? So the character learned, that middle one. But then I came to really one I felt that fit best for this type of work, really. And that's the one where it's, well, what was really the theme? What did we learn as readers about that text? What are we supposed to be taking away with us? So I spent some time and I really thought about this, and I was like, well, we need to be kind now because we may not get another opportunity, okay? That is what we need to take away with us from this particular text, okay? And I put here, if you know, state this in every paragraph. Your thesis, when you are working on a literary essay, guys, needs to be in all 5 paragraphs. All 5. This is something that we're struggling with understanding. So this sentence, I need to repeat in the introduction, the 3 body paragraphs, and in my conclusion. So it repeats. Why does it repeat in a literary essay? Because it's important for me to get that point across, okay? So that was the first thing I started with. Then I laid out my 3 supports, and I was asking myself, as I was doing this work today, I was asking myself, like, okay, so how can I support this thesis statement? What were some things in the book that let me know that this is indeed what I'm supposed to learn from this book? Well, I kind of have to back it up some. If you note here, I said these are the 3 reasons, supports or reasons. And these are 1 for each body paragraph that you will write on. But guess what? You need them in your introduction. You've got to announce them like, this is why, okay? So if this is indeed my thesis, my first one is, I kind of started back again at the beginning. Chloe and her friends being unkind to Maya, okay? That's where this whole thing begins. That's where it starts. I've got to make sure that whoever's reading my essay understands that that's where all of this problem, this trouble stems from. So that's my first. Then I kind of moved through the book and I was like, okay, where was the aha moment, if you will? My aha moment was when Miss Albert's kindness lesson, she was doing that lesson with the kids with the rock and throwing it and talking about the ripples in the water. And she was having y'all, the students, throw in those rocks too and say what kind thing they had done. And when it gets to Chloe, she can't think of anything. And that's where it's like, uh-oh. So that's where things start to change, okay? So then my third reason, my third support then was towards the end of the text where Chloe is finally wishing Maya would come back. She's walking along and she's like, I sure wish I'd see her one more time. I promise I'd smile back at her. I promise I would. So she kind of goes through this, and y'all, and in the end, the text leaves us with that very sad realization where we know Maya's not coming back, and Chloe is left with this feeling in her heart and in her stomach of, oh, I can't fix this. I can't ever go back and tell her, hey, you want to play? Or let me just smile at her. So it's something that can't be undone because she doesn't see her again. So again, these support my thesis. My thesis is in every paragraph. My supports are noted then for my 3 body paragraphs. That's where I'm going to support it with more text evidence. But y'all, not just this. What does your own thinking say about these 3 things? Okay, it should definitely say something. So what I did for you today, rather than just do boxes and bullets, I wanted to show you that when you begin to flash draft using your boxes and bullets, which you're going to work on today, is how then to make an introduction, a proper introduction in a literary essay. Remember, you have the chart available of what makes a literary essay. So you need to go back and look at that because many of you are still missing things like a hook or the author or the name of the text. Guys, you've got to have all of those parts in order to make a proper introduction for a literary essay. So I'm going to read you mine just so you get an idea of how it can flow, okay? So has there ever been a time in your life when you wished that you could go back and change something in your past? If so, you are not alone. In the book, Each Kindness by Jacqueline Woodson, the main character wishes she could go back and show some kindness to her new classmate. The story of Chloe teaches us that we need to be kind now because we may not get another opportunity. So you see, right there, I'm stating my thesis in my introduction. That's the first time. This is shown by Chloe and her friends being unkind to Maya. It is also shown when Miss Albert has her kindness lesson and Chloe can't think of anything. Support 2. Mostly, this is shown when Chloe wishes that Maya would come back. Support 3. I'm not going to leave it there. I've got to wrap up my introduction. Being kind in the moment is critical because it may very well be the last chance we get. So bringing it all back together. Then my first paragraph is going to again state my thesis, my first body paragraph. and followed by the first support. Body paragraph 2, thesis and support 2. Guess what? Body paragraph 3, you got it. Thesis 3. And you should know this part, the conclusion is very similar to the introduction, where we again state our thesis and the 3 supports. And remember though, in the conclusion, you must leave your reader with something to think about. Okay, you don't just want to let them go off and be like, well, that was a good read or something. I don't even know what I read. Make them think. So in this one, it would be very simple to do that, because you could even write a statement like, so the next time you come across someone that may not be the same as you, choose to be kind. Okay, that would be one way to wrap up a conclusion for this text. Now listen to me carefully. What you are doing is not each kindness. You are going to have the opportunity to pick from 3 different texts. Okay, I believe one is Blue Jasmine, one is Yasmin's Turn, and the other is The Most Beautiful Place in the World. So read over those, decide which one of those texts can lend itself best for you to write a literary essay. Meaning, can you go off of the character? Can you go off of the theme? So those are some things you need to keep in mind as you choose the text. And then today, you're going to work on the boxes and bullets. Now, how you choose to lay that out is up to you. What I do want to see is this thesis statement at the top of every one of the paragraphs. Everyone should have this in the box. Then, again, support 1, support 2, support 3. Remembering that, underneath those bullets, you're going to include some text evidence, and guys, even in your own thinking. Okay? So, try your best. I do want paragraphs, 5 paragraphs with boxes and bullets for this. This is the last time you're going to have to do this. So do your very best. Show me that you've learned how to do this. Some of you are doing an excellent job, and some of you are just like, yeah, I'm just going to slap something down. Guys, I want you to do your best. I'm spending time looking at these. So show me what it is you can do, because I know what you're capable of. I've seen it all year. And you guys make me so proud when you do that. So, off to do some of that work, and I will be catching you later with another mini lesson on verbs tomorrow. Not verbs, we're doing commas. Geez, see what happens when I'm not even in the building? Same old, right? Bye guys, love y'all, miss you. Mwah.